Welcome! I'm Lee Hae-sung, host of Korea's Focus.
Hello!
Hi!
It's summer, the sun is shining, the beaches are ready to get some champo action.
So, speaking of summer, if you have any place you would like to visit this summer,
In Korea, Busan is my favorite place. Good food, good people,
Busan.
amazing weather.
me, I would choose Taedong-gu.
Taedong-gu? What's that? Where's that? Is that what, like Attitude Island or something? What's that?
Taedong-gu is the abbreviation for 태평양 도서국 in Korean, which means Pacific Islands.
Ah, Pacific Islands,
Yes.
of course, right
Island
next door to
countries in
Australia. They're our
Pacific
neighbors.
Ocean.
Yeah, it's got beautiful oceans. The people, they're just so kind and friendly because there's a lot of Pacific Islanders in Australia. But I haven't visited before. Have you gone?
Not yet.
Okay, that's next on our list.
That's why we invited two guests today who will teach us more about the Pacific Islands.
Hello! Hello! How are you? Welcome, welcome. How are you going?
Welcome. Could you please briefly introduce yourself to our Korea's followers?
Hello, my name is Yu Jin-ho, who is working at APEC Climate Center for developing and implementing international cooperation project.
Hello, I'm Yoon Ji-soo. I'm currently working as a second secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Republic of Korea.
Welcome. Thanks for coming. So, for those of us who may not know about the Pacific Islands, could you tell us a little about it?
The Pacific Islands are 14 Icelandic countries located in the Central, West, and South Pacific. Do you know the origin of the word Pacific?
I've never really thought about it, but maybe pacifism, like not fighting or something?
Oh, fighting, okay.
Related to peace?
Peace. Yeah, that's pretty much correct.
Isn't it something related with the explorer Magellan?
That's really correct. That's right. So actually, the word Pacific came from Magellan, as he said. So Magellan is a Portuguese sailor and the first world traveler in history. So his voyage at the beginning was very difficult because of the rough water. So imagine how he must have felt when he came across this vast, calm ocean. Pretty impressed, right? So he, while traveling those oceans, he called it Mare Pacificum, which is a Latin and means like peaceful sea.
I thought Magellan is like a brand of whiskey, but good to know. Very good to know. Yeah, you know, I grew up next to the beach, east coast of Australia, so I've always loved the Pacific Ocean. The people are amazing, and I'd say that it's divided into three main regions. So on the west, closest to Australia, you have the Melanesia region. And it's easy to remember because my sister's name is Melanie. She lives in Sydney, so we got that. They've got their culture is very much influenced by tribal culture. There's volcanic islands and there's large, wet forests. Then you go a bit north to Micronesia, and just like the name implies, micro, small islands. If you like scuba diving, there's a place called Palau that's very famous there as well. And also there's Polynesia. So poly means lots. So you've got over 1,000 islands. This is more in southern and central Pacific Ocean. And over there, countries like Tonga, for example, it's made up of 177 different islands. So very interesting landmass.
Wow, you're very well prepared today.
I'm always
Wow.
well prepared. Come on,
You
you know
sound
that.
like an expert.
Hey, you know what's up.
I heard that these island countries are at the center of international attention recently. Why is that?
So the population of the Pacific Island country is only 12 million, which is less than the population of the Gyeonggi-do.
What? Really?
Korea has a high population density.
Right.
Yeah.
But even if this small populated country, the political and economical importance is getting more higher and higher. And particularly, they have the 14% of the world exclusive economic zone, which is the fish catching area. And then in those areas, so about 70% of the tuna of the world is caught there.
70% of the tuna.
Yeah.
So every time I open a can, it's very much likely to be from the
For Korea, almost 90%, more than 90% of the tuna is coming from that region.
Thank you.
And, and also there are lots of natural resources underwater. And then it's a central location of the Pacific, which is very important in whole Earth.
Yes, and also the 14 Pacific Islands countries each have one vote in the election of the international organizations regardless of their national size.
Or
So-
regardless of their population.
Yes, regardless of their population. They each have one vote. So this makes their influence in the international society is quite significant.
So that's why so many countries are interested in Pacific Islands.
Yeah, but there are another aspect of that international spotlight, which is the threat they are facing about the climate change. Let me show you a picture. So what do you think is he doing?
I see a flag. It's something political.
Yeah, that's right. He is at the press conference. Let's see the video.
We cannot wait for speeches when the sea is rising around us all the time. Climate mobility must come to the forefront. We must take bold,
I see the UN
alternative
flag.
action today to secure tomorrow. Aftailasi,
The outside.
Tuvalu Modern.
Okay, yeah, I see some rocks. Is there some water? Yo, he's wearing a suit and he's like hip high in the water. Who's he talking to?
Right, right. He is a foreign minister of the Tuvalu. Tuvalu is the fourth smallest country in the world, and which is located in the South Pacific near the equator. And he is doing that press conference to appeal to the world how the sea level rise is serious in their nation. So the place where he was standing was actually land.
It's actually, in fact, Tuvalu is actually facing the biggest challenge right now. Tuvalu consists of 9 coral islands, and people say that if global warming continues, then all 9 coral islands would be submerged in the near future.
All of them?
Yeah, all of them.
So some of the Tuvalu government people is planning to move their country in the metaverse.
What?
Metaverse?
Because they are seeing that their country, their land is going to be disappear. So they will lose their culture, their history. So they are feeling that they're gonna lose their identity. So they're trying to move their country in cyber world, which is very sad. Have you heard about the king tide?
King tide, yeah, that's when it's the rare occasion when the tide is 1 or 2 feet higher than the normal high tide, right?
Right.
So intelligent.
I live next to the beach. We gotta know about these things.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
impressed.
Oh, thank you. Oh.
And then, so when the king tide occurs, not only just office, but many houses along the beach, inundated. The seawater come into their house. But it used to be once in a year, the king tide event. But nowadays, it gets more often. And there are more difficulties than just the sea level rise. Told us that the sea water, the temperature of the seawater is rising a lot. Most of the tuna is caught in that region. But if the seawater rise and seawater temperature rise a lot, then the tuna will migrate somewhere else. Then Pacific Island country will have serious economical problem too. And then also drought is another problem.
Drought.
Pacific Islands people rely heavily on the rain and also the underground water for their water supply, but as the drought is getting worsened, and also recently the salt water intrudes the underground water, so the salinity concentration is getting high, and this causes a serious problem for them to get water.
So the issue of the global warming is very much directly related with the survival of the Pacific Island country. What about South Korea?
So we are living on the Korean Peninsula, which means we are surrounded by water on 3 sides. So we must be affected by the sea levels, isn't it?
I saw like a video recently where if the seawater keeps rising, Incheon and Busan are completely gone.
As you mentioned before, it's also about marine and fisheries sector.
Everything in the world, not only just air surrounding the earth, but also economy and the communication, and people are all connected to each other. So this interrelated society, the one problem occurs in this region causes chain reaction to the another places. Climate change is not just natural phenomenon. It's all related with social reactions.
So, what can South Korea do to address the climate crisis in the Pacific Islands?
Currently, my institute, APEC Climate Center, located in Busan, is developed and implementing the Korea Pacific Island Climate Prediction Project, which is to enhance the Pacific Islanders' capacity to make their own climate prediction for their own country by themselves.
Korea is currently helping to upgrade the ocean acidification observation systems to protect the ecosystems of the Pacific Islands. Yes, and also Korea is supporting about the green energy supply. For example, we help them construct the hydropower dams, or we help them establishing some solar power plants to provide some green energy supplies to the Pacific Islands. Yes. From May 29th to 30th, 2023 Korea Pacific Islands Summit was held in Seoul. And this is very special because it is our first multilateral summit in Korea with Pacific Island countries.
So, what were some of the outcomes of this summit?
So during the summit, Korea and Pacific Islands reviewed and also explored new ways of cooperations on various fields, including climate change or oceans and fisheries and so on. And also they seek ways to communicate and cooperate in the international stage, and also the elections that we previously talked about.
So, thanks to both of you and Chambo, I learned a lot today. So, we got to see the beautiful Pacific Islands from a different perspective.
But yeah, it's really good to learn so much about these neighbors that I've known so little about for my entire life, even though they're so close to us.
And later this year, I will go to Pacific Island again. And then I can tell my friends in Pacific that at least we can have 2 more supporters.
I'm also very glad to talk about and discuss about this first ever Korea Pacific Islands Summit. So we aim to follow up with concrete actions to expand cooperation with Pacific Islands countries to keep the momentum going. So we really need your support and also interest in further cooperation with Pacific Islands countries.
You heard them. We gotta cooperate. Let's take action.
The most important thing is to work together to fight against climate crisis. Chambo and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you.
Thank you.